So you might be trying to figure out which Nintendo Switch you actually end up or wanting to buy this particular year. Now, I will tell you the Switch is by far one of the best gaming consoles you could probably buy of all time. And even though the successor of this thing is going to be coming around soon, I still think there's a lot of capability behind this particular console and is still completely worth buying without a doubt. So, first of all, I do think with the Nintendo Switch OLED, this is the cream of the crop as of right now. And if you have all the money in the world, and if money isn't an issue, I would recommend buying the Nintendo Switch OLED. Although performance-wise all these Switches are the same, there is a big significant difference, I would say, between the standard Switch and the Switch OLED. Having that bigger size display and having an OLED display at that is a very good asset, and this in and of itself is by far one of my most favorite features of this particular Switch. So, out of all the gaming consoles Nintendo's ever made, this Switch OLED has the best display, and this one I would say for every single person that can't afford a brand new Switch, this is the one I'd recommend buying. On top of that, this Switch has that OLED display. Battery life is probably going to be around the same, if not maybe slightly better. All the other features are kind of the same too, but because of the OLED Switch, that dock is changed up a little bit, and you do get an Ethernet port within that dock, which actually can be a pretty big asset for a lot of people as well. So if you're wanting to do that, you can always grab that Switch and then, kind of tinker around with it that way too. So that in and of itself is another really cool thing going on for that particular console as well. Now the standard Switch I think is great if you're somebody who just wants to go ahead, if you already have a standard Switch, if you want to upgrade to the OLED, be my guest. But if there's a, reason why I would recommend getting the standard Switch is because of the price. The price or availability, if it is a significantly cheaper priced, if it is a significantly cheaper priced device, then you could always just go ahead and get that particular device from there. And that in and of itself is another big thing going on for that particular device as well. And if I were to go ahead and, kind of get some sort of device, that one kind of makes a lot more sense to me in my personal opinion, because that is another, that console has a lot of capability. The display, albeit not as great, performance is still going to be around the same. And, it still is going to be giving you almost all the same type of, capability for the most part as any other device too. So I think the standard Nintendo Switch is still very good, and I would highly recommend every average person, if you want to, or if you have an average price that you can spend on the Nintendo Switch, this one is probably the best bang for your buck. I would say even better than the Nintendo Switch Lite. Now the Switch Lite I think is great for the portable mode if people want to play these things portably, but the problem I kind of have with the Switch Lite is that you can't really dock it. That is kind of an annoying thing, and if you're somebody who wants to go ahead and play a bunch of games on the go, then this is perfectly fine. But even with its display, the display is not even really that great. And if you're gonna play portably, you might as well just go grab the Switch OLED, because that one has it has a bigger display, and it's a way better display at that. With the Switch Lite, I think it's good, but my other issue is with the Joy-Cons and joysticks. If those things are drifting, you really kind of have to pay money to go and get those things fixed for the most part, and that is a higher inconvenience rather than just switching out a Joy-Con here and there. So I will tell you, in my personal opinion, the Switch OLED is the cream of the crop. The standard Switch is good, and the Switch Lite is one I would probably recommend avoiding if you can, but that's kind of how I see this particular, these consoles holding up in 2024. If you have any other thoughts or questions, let me know in the comment section below. Hit the like button, that'll mean so much, but definitely hit that subscribe button. More importantly than everything else, I love every single one of you guys. Hopefully I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace out till then.